The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Nope. Don't have it. Okay. Didn't work today. What else do we have going on? Well, we've got Rocket Man shooting off a rocket from North Korea. As Andy Heck popped into the den to say, Happy Christmas from North Korea. So market was up about 21 points on the S&P cash. We're up about 12 now. So it cost about 9 points. The missile went into the ocean. They're kind of dodging about where it went, but it did go straight east. So it either landed before or on the other side of Japan. And I think that's what everybody is taking a little bit of a notice for today. Of course, the Dow came off 100 points pretty good, and the NASDAQ has gone into the red, off just 1.5 points. But it'd been kind of weak throughout most of the day anyway. So not a bad thing, but it's a very stock pickers market when you look through it. Financials were the kind of leaders for most of the part today. We'll take a look at this. Encouraging words about basically we're down to 8 senators on the tax bill. None of those except one is a hard no. So you get 4 mulligans out of that, and we'll see. But I think you're going to get it with 52 or 51 votes. So I don't think you've got a big problem. It looks like it's as close to anything, but probably going to see maybe a vote on it next week, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if there's any more news. But I think that encouraging words of no hard no's on the bill has got everybody in a lather, as a friend of mine used to say. So we'll see. Did I? Yeah, this thing says I've got my charts up here. Let's try this again and see. But I've got my charts up now. Hopefully everybody can see them. Oh, no, it's doing the same thing it did again last week. As I said, it is problematic at best. Nope. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to have anything, but we'll have to reboot the computer at the break. So anyway, can't say anything else about it other than that, other than old Mr. Hotcom getting kind of long in the tooth. So what else do we have going on out here today? Well, we looked at that. Let's say we're up to 26.14 now, a little bit coming back after nothing went boom, but we'll see. And as always, we like to start the show off with a little bit of history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1914, the New York Stock Exchange reopens for bond trading after being closed for nearly 4 months, the longest stoppage in the exchange history. The outbreak of World War I in Europe forced the NYSE to shut its doors on July 31st, 1914, after a large number of foreign investors began selling their holdings in hope of raising cash for the war effort, all the world's financial markets followed suit and closed their doors by August 1st. Of course, this was bond trading today in 1914. The equity market didn't open up for business until December 12th. And while you could sell anything you want, you couldn't take the cash out of the United States. And kind of a lesson if we ever see anything like this start again, that you want to, if you need your cash, you want to probably be pretty quick on the trigger, lest the market close and leave you stranded for a while, as it did in 1914. But that's it. Nope, no charts for at least this segment. We'll have to see what happens, but we will find out. Did we do this again? I think we did it before. Nope, I just have to reboot the machine. Mr. Hotcom doesn't like it sometimes now. Okay, what do we have out here also? Anyway, that's about it. We got about 3 minutes. I want to answer a question, then we'll go to charts when I get back after the break. But a lot of people have been asking about net neutrality. I haven't said a lot about it lately. And the problem is it is a double-edged sword. You've got a lot of things that would be nice with net neutrality. One of the downsides and why many people are not on board with net neutrality is not that all the issues surrounding regulation of the internet service providers. It is that several, and I'm talking about a lot of, I'm going to call them not the extreme wings of the party, but the center parts of the party, don't quite like either the Drudge Report or the Huffington Post or all these websites that call them on their bovine excrement. And many have said that they want to use this as a way to get the camel's nose under the tent to start regulating websites, especially news websites, that don't say kind things about them. And if you've wondered why everybody's trying to back away from net neutrality, a lot of good things about it. The worst part about it is we already know that political pedophiles are salivating at just the thought of being able to control the internet, and especially news reporting in the internet. And that's why I haven't said a lot. I know how good it would be for TFNN and many people that actually make their living on the internet. The downside is all these guys are just dying to have some way to control internet news providers. And if there's one thing you know from listening to me since, 2010, it's free speech is probably the most important, and why it's #1 on that list of the Bill of Rights, and why I would rather see net neutrality go away and keep free speech than let those guys anywhere close to it. It's got little rings on it with a 10-foot pole where they've been trying to stab it. Just keep them away from it. Unfortunately, one bad is not all the best.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. Hopefully everything's going well. And we're back on the air. And we will see about the rest of it here. Oh, I need to move that over here. Did I do this right? Hopefully we did it right. And we're back on. Let me bring a few more things up. And we'll get there, I think. Oh, I'm bluish. I've been holding my breath during the entire break here. So let's get this back online. Okay. And we got that fixed. I got my email back up. We've got everything running. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at it. Of course, the next chairman of the Federal Reserve was in front of the Congress today, getting his nomination issues out of the way. He said that he thought that all the restrictions on the banks were good enough, that we didn't need any more. And of course, that put a little fire on a day where we've had a little bit of up and downs into the XLF. Volume's not all that exciting, but that's kind of the entire market itself. It's kind of up on a very broad market today. There's not anything other than the financials that really piqued my interest out here that think anything better is actually happening. But we'll continue to move. S&P's now up 14 points on the S&P cash after we guess I had a rocket that didn't go boom, and that's all that anybody needs. Anyway, looking at the XLF, looks like a nice day today. You got 41 million shares. You need 66 million shares to go through the high of November 2nd. I think you can at least figure that that is going to tag that level and keep an eye on it. And let's see what else we have going on here. Let's take a look at that. Of course, a lot of people, in fact, when you get a news announcement like North Korea launching a rocket. It's always one of those things where you want to see how, it's not so much the news, but you want to see how everybody reacts. And not a lot of movement in gold. Crude's a little bit better. Crude had been under a little bit of pressure earlier. A lot of discussion about Russia selling more oil, and I think that announcement comes Thursday or Friday, that they will not hold back. And if they don't hold back, the rest of the countries won't hold back, and we'll start seeing another glut of oil. We'll be looking forward to Andy Heck's show at 5 and his discussions with Tom O'Brien on his show about what he thinks Russia will do if there's enough oil out there to really put some pressure on it. But kind of flat. And, of course, a lot of people looking at natural gas out here as a nice pop. Now, this came down on a huge amount of volume. And blew through the previous low and then instantly reversed. And it's not uncommon, especially in the commodity markets, to see these huge washouts. This is what I've been looking or hoping for in gold, and that is something that just wrings everybody out of it. In the UNG on November 1st, we had $5.86. That was with 9.5 million shares. You had 20 million shares as it went below it, but then closed just at the same level on the 24th. And then we got to thank Basil for pointing this out yesterday. The thing actually went up in volume. There was a little volume. Now we're back up to where resistance is, which is this $6.35 range where this gap down on the 20th. So I guess the same thing. There's same thing that we've talked about for the last week or 8 days, and that is that I'm looking at stocks that have huge short interest. And I think those are the ones that are going to have the ability to run through the end of the year. It's going to be kind of a game of whack-a-mole. But for the bigger indexes, there's a definite bias to higher prices. It's just not that much higher prices until the end of the year. Now, we, of course, are on the 28th day of the month. That sets up kind of fun buying. It's not uncommon to see the market be priced a little higher than usual. You really start seeing it tomorrow in earnest, the 29th, and you get it all the way through the 5th, which is next Tuesday. So there's going to be a kind of a put or a floor under the market, even that. And, of course, the question is, when we look at Tuesday of next week, is that when we're going to start seeing the Senate vote on taxes? And if it is, maybe we're going to get a little bit more than the 1.5% that's normal for December going into the end of the year. If we don't, probably a tale of two cities. But again, through the 5th, until you get a definitive vote that says no, I think you've got a plan for probably a minimum of 1.5% higher on the S&P. And figure that this year may even go over it. But I still suspect that once we get to that 5th of December, we're already pretty much in the options expiration cycle. That takes you through the 15th. And there's just not a lot of time to get everybody Well, the S&P's climbing back up. We got a lot of senators clawing to get behind the microphone after a meeting with the president, and they're all saying pretty happy things about the tax bill and the debt bill and everything else. So not a lot of rain to throw on this parade today. It looks like they're going to try to push this back up somewhere close to the highs. That would take you to the S&P cash 2620. 2621 in there. So not a whole lot happening out here that you could take as a big negative, other than the fact that some of the stocks are a little lower. You're already starting to see a little bit of a sector rotation out of the stocks that have been up for a little while. But again, I'm not thinking these things roll over and die anytime soon. Some stocks I wanted to look at that were kind of giving signals that I thought were interesting, and that's American Eagle Outfitters. Once thought to go bankrupt here in the last year, it's kind of clawed its way back up to this big gap down from March 1st of the year. That had 20.5 million shares. Now we're just up here with not much. We're, 3.4 million shares. Yesterday you had 6.3 million shares. So these things are getting, if you're long these things and they're back into these gaps and you bought them somewhere else, get a little piggy to hang on to them here as there's going to be a great big supply, just pennies higher in a lot of those. Amarillo is going to have earnings, I think, on Thursday night. And as I said yesterday, I'm a big fan if you're long some of these stocks that had been beaten up and had multiple gaps down. If you get back to where these things originally gapped down, you get about halfway in to a remaining gap. I'm a big fan of just going ahead and pull the trigger and selling them. Amarillo, of course, makes the chips for video compression for the GoPros and others. This gap down on, June 7th with 8.4 million shares. You've been coming back up into this gap. In the last couple of days, you had 380,000 shares yesterday to 725,000 shares. Not a big sign to see this one roll back over a bit. Some of the weaker ones. Let's take a quick look at GoPro. Don't see a lot that's going to save GoPro. In fact, things look like they're getting worse for this company. Their 3D video camera seems to have a lot of bugs. Some or many of the features are not shipping in the initial product. They had, of course, their problems with returns on their drone. Just watch out for this thing if the CEO, Mr. Woodman, ends up leaving of his or without his permission. You could get a little bounce out of GoPro for a while. I just don't know how big that is. Don't think it's much. Take a look at Twillo, TWLO. Yeah, you've got a little pop out here. And what's the, maybe you can tell me, I can't remember the symbol right now. It's the new IPO that does the exact same thing as Twillo. Came out like 2 weeks ago. I'm just having a mental blank. Does anybody remember that one? I think I brought it up on the show a couple of times. Maybe you'll bring it. No, not Roku. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll remember it during the break. Anyway, okay. There's another company, and I think a lot of this, the froth came off Twillo when that IPO came out a few weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. But they do the same thing that Twillo did, and a lot of that cash came out of it. It's not uncommon to also see in the lead-up of IPOs of similar companies that they'll do everything to make sure that other company is up fairly good going into that IPO. And that's really what you saw here. This thing got kind of pushed up and held up to that October 20th high at $33 on Twillo, and then started rolling over. There's just a lot more supply in that sector. Man, I'm going to drive myself nuts thinking about this stock. But fairly recent IPO and did fairly well. But my guess is this thing's starting to roll over also. But that is the problem I suspect in Twilio, is that there's a lot more supply with another IPO that just kind of came out. And a lot of people looking for a faster horse on this. This thing kind of rolled over just when that IPO was coming out. So I think a lot of people saw the writing on the wall already that Twilio was 3 months ago. And that's it. But I do like this thing kind of building out here. Again, I'm not a big fan of these stocks that can't even start moving a little higher, that are way off previous highs. You still see a little tax selling probably for the next few days. And then you're going to see this. Now, the question is just how big the short position is in Twilio. So let me take a quick look at that. TWLO. Okay. Well, yesterday you had 14% of the trades originating as a short position. This thing's kind of been bouncing around between 10 and 18%. Actually, at 22% on the 17th. What is that candle? Right there. Okay, which was that down day. So you got a little bit of short position starting to wind up. And even yesterday, on any little down day, you're starting to see some people creep into this. Again, I kind of like this setup right now. I would love to see the numbers come in tonight and see maybe a lot more people pouncing on this. Again, even the worst stocks, unless they have some really horrible news, and I don't think there's horrible news in Twilio. I just suspect that it's a lot of supply with that recent IPO that is going up against it. I don't think it's EBIX. How long have they been out? 2 weeks? Take a quick look here. Maybe I can find it with Google. TWLO IPO competitors. See if they're listed on NASDAQ just yet. 3D Systems. And these guys have a lot of people listed as competitors that aren't. That's not a very good source. Bandwidth. Thank you. BAND. There we go. This thing, yeah, you've been out on this one since the 10th of November. And that's the one I'm looking at here. Both of these, let's go ahead to the profile on it. You do have to kind of, especially after these things been around for a while, you do have to kind of pay attention for the high flyers to whether or not anything else is coming out. Okay, and I think I actually put this in my own database, BAND. Oh, go to the break. Cloud-based communications platform for enterprises in the United States. Solutions include a broad range of software application programming interfaces. But anyway, Band is the one I was thinking of. Bandwidth is the name of the company, and it's only been out for a while. But they kind of kept Twilio up for it. But yeah, I kind of like that pattern.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. We're talking about Twilio maybe making a nice little sign out here today. One of the things that, like I said, we're looking for in the newsletter is to find stocks like Twilio that have fairly decent short interest. And as the volume starts to creep down at the end of the year, you normally get a fairly decent pop. Even though I don't like the stocks like Tesla and others, it's not uncommon to see these things ramp up and much more 3, 4, 5 times what the overall market does, like the S&P. As I said, right now we're looking at 1.5% between now and Christmas on average for the S&P, just the normal Christmas bump. So it's not a lot on the indexes, but you'll find a handful of these stocks. And what you want to look at is just this. And I found the short interest on Twilio. Right now, it's almost 27% of the short interest. It's got a huge institutional ownership still, which is 75%. And it's not uncommon. Again, we've talked about how these guys can move stock ownership in and out of margin accounts and cause a short squeeze. So, you know, you got a fairly decent setup here if the market decides to move higher. I don't see anything today saying that you want to get and jump all over this just yet. But you've got, man, if this thing, you want maybe a day or two. But, yeah, I think you get a bounce that maybe could be as much as 50% of the retracement as we go back up. And one of the things you want to look at, especially in these kind of setups, is the confluence numbers. And that pretty much shows you where the bounce would take you to. In this case, it starts at about 28.74 and takes you almost to, well, really at $30. So I'd figure about half that, 29.50. So could you get a nice bump? You can. Generally, these things will run for a day or two, and then that's it. All the shorts are out that are going to give up. The weak hands have folded, and that's what you have. So Twillo, $3 on a $25 stock, not too bad. I think there's some that could get a little bit more out there, but that's kind of what we're looking for through the rest of the year. Let's take a look at some other ones out here. Alibaba, wanted to see how these were doing. And again, you can give me call at 877-927-6648, or you can email me at path@tfnn.com. Alibaba, I was looking at this kind of on a shorter time frame. And there's a handful of these companies that have tested their highs on lighter volume. So these would be probably the ones I'd stay away with, but I don't think that there's a short opportunity unless the tax deal blows up. And I'm not putting a high probability on that. My guess is that these could go up on lighter volume all the way to the first of the year, and that's when you may want to think about pulling the trigger on a possible short on some of these on light volume. November 2nd, Alibaba saw 191.22 with 41 million shares. It went above it on November 22nd, did so with just 26 million shares. It's kind of drifted a little lower out here. Today, we don't have much volume, but it's not uncommon to see these things continue to kind of just drift up into the end of the year and set up some nice short positions. If these things do come in with volume, then you want to take another look at it. Another one that I've been that's been kind of on my radar has been Mercado Libre. This is kind of a PayPal combination, PayPal and Amazon of South America. Again, if I was long this thing, we bought it at the lows or something. This is pretty much filling this gap down from October 12th. It came down with 3.2 million shares. Yesterday, you had 630,000 shares. Today, just 400,000 shares. A little doji out here. Warning signs, but at the same time, you're probably, if you've been along this thing and bought it back here, I think you kind of have to say this is where you want to ring the register. But two back-to-back dojis on this would certainly have me out. But again, I don't think I'd want to pull the trigger short on these unless I knew something a great deal more about some of these other ones going on out here. And again, we're kind of in a bubble out here. And even for some stocks like BlackBerry, which, let's see what the short interest on BlackBerry is. Okay. Horrible pop-ups. BBRY, right? Ah, boy, how annoying. Okay. Let's try this another way. BBRY. Again, this thing's back up against this $11.74 high. That's the June 1st high on BlackBerry. Nothing's changed in the level of or long-term predictions out here for BlackBerry. I'm just trying to find the short interest. Here we go. That's what I want to look at. Okay, and nothing but pop-ups and annoying things on that website, so I'm not going to go back to it. Okay, anyway, BlackBerry, short interest been kind of waning a little bit. Let's see what I actually have for the daily short interest. 16% yesterday, 14% on Friday. Did have 20% on Wednesday last week. So you're still seeing a lot of people try to short BlackBerry out here. You have a couple of nice little hammers out here the last couple of days. Again, not going to short any of these things going into the end of the year unless something happens to the tax bill. But again, you got 37 million shares and you're up to it yesterday with 8 million shares and today with 8 million shares. So these things are about as good as they get. And again, you want to watch these things. Maybe they drift a little bit higher going into the end of the year, and you want to take a look at it. We talked to, I don't know, 6 months or 9 months ago about the problems of vitamin companies and the Federal Trade Commission changing the rules and regulations about having celebrities endorse them. That seemed to push a lot of vitamins. Again, some of these things are probably down about as horrible as they're going to get. We're starting to see a lot more of these just moving sideways kind of patterns. This has got it, but nothing really going to change. It's still a mall business for the most part. I think 60% of their business is in malls, and probably just a lot easier to go on Amazon and order the product than go into one of the big shopping malls. But maybe there's something else for them. Maybe $5.50 is a decent price, but certainly you're starting to see these stocks kind of go out sideways. It's about as bad as it gets. We'll be back in.
It's that time of year again. The TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale is back. Through this Sunday only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and up to 10% of whatever you spend will be donated to the Salvation Army in your name. This sale only comes around once a year and is one of the most rewarding promotions we have. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to any TFNN product or service. Whether you're considering signing up for any newsletter or workshop in the future, or you're already a subscriber, Tiger Dollars offer an immediate savings on any TFNN newsletter, webinar, workshop, or Master Trader series. And they never expire and are fully transferable to friends and family. For all the details and to take part in this special promotion, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this sale ends Sunday, December 3rd. And happy holidays from TFNN. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
Well, we're making new highs at 2623 on the S&P cash. Dow was up 200, down 100. Now it's back up 188. The NASDAQ is up 25. So we had a little rocket action, a little rocket indigestion. And I guess the market took some Rolaids and decided that another missile that blew up in the atmosphere means they still can't drop a nuke on us. which is the biggest problem I think they're fighting right now, the North Koreans, getting shielding so it doesn't burn up when it re-enters the atmosphere. But apparently it burnt up and broke apart, which still says that it got problems. So everybody's a little happy out here that we can postpone nuclear war yet another day. And that's about it. But starting to see some stocks that are kind of interesting. Looking at the XRT, which is the retail sector, given up for dead. But interestingly enough, today this thing's breaking above a resistance level in the retail sector. This goes back to August 8th at 41.73 that had 7 million shares. You had October 3rd with 3 million shares. But 7-8 million shares is what you're looking for. You're not going to get that today with 4.5 million shares today. But still looks like you're going to close over those highs. So maybe the best is, or close to the best it gets. Maybe we get volume coming back in. Your next move up on that would be 44.20. Speaking of Christmas, of course, we've got Tiger Dollars here at TFNN. And if you'd like to get either one of my newsletters, the best thing you can do, the best, almost guaranteed way of saving yourself some money is going to the front page of TFNN and buying some of those Tiger Dollars and turning it into either one or both of my newsletters. So you can always do that. And other than that, kind of a quiet day. Got some earnings Thursday night that might move the markets. Other than that, we're waiting for the Senate. Waiting on Godot. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.